Okay, so you were hanging out at the dance hall. Did you fall in love with anybody else there before you met Irene?
No,
No.
no. Once
Do you remember what the lady's name was? Your first big love there? You don't remember her name? So how did you meet Irene? Tell me about the first time you met
well,
Irene.
there was a group of kids, 17, 18, 19.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think how many. There must have been, anywhere from 20 to 30 of us. And,
That's a big group.
and little by little, they we paired off.
Mm-hmm.
We found who we loved to dance with, and we paired off with them. And after a while, I'd been going to the same dance hall for so long that Bill Hanrahan, the guy that owned the ballroom,
Do you remember the name of the ballroom?
it was the Crescent Ballroom.
That's still there, isn't it?
No, I don't think so.
Up on Capitol Hill?
No, it was on
Oh.
6th Avenue. 6th?
That sounds very familiar. I'm gonna look online later. Sorry, go ahead. So the guy who owned the ballroom.
He wound up, because I came so often, I became like his protege. So he wound up making me the floor manager. And I was to make sure that there was no wild dancing.
No dirty dancing allowed.
I could let my kids get by with a little bit, but people that didn't belong to our group, they had to adhere to the jitterbug rule.
You liked that, huh? You liked being in charge.
Well, it was fun because I got in for free after that.
Uh-huh.
And then the police matron on the door to get into the bar, she became my adopted mother. And it wasn't too long. I was going in and getting beer, and I had to keep my eye on her. And if she raised her hand over her head, I had to get the hell out of there. The liquor inspector was on board. And Bill Hanrahan, who owned the place, he always had a jug in his back room. And I'd go in and help myself to
So you were a teenage drunk.
I'd have a snort now and then.
You wild boy, you.
I never really got drunk, but I sure could have.
Okay, so you were the floor manager and you met Irene how?
Well, before I was ever floor manager, I had met Irene.
So tell me about the first time you saw her. Did you know you loved her right away?
No, but
But you thought she was pretty.
yeah, and I thought I should ask her to dance. So, and then Rose, her sister, was coming with her. And so I'd dance with Rose, and then I'd dance with Irene, and I'd dance with one of the other gals. And you get to the point where Irene and I could do all the old-fashioned dances, Scottish, polka, Varsovia, Schottish.
Do you still remember how to do that?
Huh?
Do you still remember that one?
I'm not sure.
They do that at the country bar, and Dawn and I can't figure it out.
You can go,
No, I don't want instructions now.
you twirl forward, and then you twirl
Yeah.
backward,
Yeah,
and then you do the
yeah.
turns.
It looks really cool.
It was fun. We kind of modernized and put extra steps in. But anyway,
So she
Once it
became your
got to the
favorite
point
dance
where-
partner.
we were dancing more and more and more, and she was at the point where no matter what I did, she was right in step with me all the way. And so it was only natural that we became a couple.
So when did you know that you loved her?
Oh, probably after the first year.
Of dancing together? And how long did you date before you got married?
I would say almost a couple of years, I think.
So you became friends through dancing and then fell in love. That's sweet.
Do what?
So you became friends through dancing and then fell in love. That's sweet.
Well, it really was what I felt was a marriage made in heaven, right? Because we could do things together. We could have picnics or whatever. A lot of the gang would get together and we'd meet someplace. And little by little, they all paired off.
Yeah.
There
So
was quite a few of them got
were you
married.
one of the first couples to pair off, or were you somewhere in the middle?
I'm not sure, but I think we were the first ones married. And there was Bob and little Bert. They were planning, I think, while we were thinking about it, and they were planning, and they got married. Then there was about, I'd say, at least half a dozen, maybe a dozen others.
So did you
Carry on,
guys
carry on.
keep dancing through your marriage? I mean, did you go dancing a lot?
Yeah,
Good.
we both loved to dance
That's so great.
till I got sent overseas.
So like a year after you got married, you got drafted. 'Cause you said
Well-
you were 20, and or 2 years. You were 18 when you got married, and you got drafted at 20.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's where I deviated you. So go back to that. You had to go down to California for boot camp, and you couldn't drive.
and that's when I learned to drive because I had to drive vehicles.
So how did you guys get down there?
Huh?
So how did you guys get to California? Take a train or a bus, or did Irene go with you for boot camp, or
No.
did you leave her here?
No, she had to stay here. She worked for Alaska Telephone and Telegraph at the time.
What did she do?
She was a teletype operator.
That would have been a
And,
hard job.
When we finished basic training in California, they loaded us all up. They brought us up, back up here, and they put us up on Magnolia at
Fort Lawton.
Fort Lawton. And they said, now, we might be here a week, we might be here 2 weeks, but whatever you do, don't sneak off, because if you sneak off and you're not here when we have to load up, you'll be AWOL and you'll be considered as
Deserter.
treat me up as a deserter, and whatever.
So you snuck off, didn't you?
We snuck off the night. I'd
Well,
call.
of course, your wife was.
I'd call.
Did you have kids yet?
No.
No. How old were you when Linda was born?
Let's see, we got back in 46. And she was born in November of 46. 23.
So you were 23.
Yeah, I'd be 23.
Yeah. So you'd been married 5 years before you had kids. But you were in the
I wasn't
army.
here.
Yeah. Okay, so, sorry, I keep interrupting. So you were at Fort Lawton. You weren't supposed to sneak off, but you did.
I'd call. I had a hole in the fence. Went right out to the street. So I called Irene, and I said, we may be here a week, we may be here 2 weeks, but I can't afford not to be here when I'm supposed to be. So you come out, and we'll just stick around close until I get some kind of wind as to what's going on. And later I found out that
Moose, other room.
it was a safe bet we wouldn't be gone for at least 7 or 8 days. So then I called Irene. She'd come pick us up. Me and I think I had 2 buddies that went with me. She'd pick us up and we'd go down to the Preston Ballroom.
And you dance all
The
day.
guys would dance up a storm, and so would Irene and I.
You little deserter, you.
Never missed.
So, how long were you at Fort Lawton before you left? Just a week?
No, it was about 2 weeks, maybe a little over 2 weeks.
And where'd they
Before-
send you from there?
They put us on a boat that was from East Asia. It had a Dutch crew. They were Javanese, but they were,
Like
From
from
Dutch.
Java?
yeah, they were from Dutch Guinea. And they put us on this boat, and we found out it was a cattle boat.
You found out
They
by
all
the smell, huh?
cattle. And I mean, it stunk to high heaven. And all they had for food was bully beef
What's
from
that?
Australia.
What's that?
Very greasy, fat, sheep. I think it was sheep. But it was so sickening you couldn't eat it.
Plus you're on a boat.
And the Japanese crew, they made onion sandwiches. That was their favorite.
Is that where you developed your taste for onions?
I bought onion sandwiches to replace the bully beef because I couldn't eat the bully beef. The guys were throwing up overboard and everything else. It was nothing but grease.
Ugh.
Oh,
So where were you going?
New Guinea.
New Guinea.
We went all the way down the coast of South America. Then we went across to Tasmania.
Did you make little stops along the way? No.
No, we were at
On a
least 2
mission.
weeks on this boat
Ugh.
with nothing but
Bully
onion
beef.
sandwiches and bullion meat. And when we finally got to offshore of Australia, we could see the country, we could see the buildings, but then they turned and went up the coast of New Guinea to Lae, New Guinea, which is right at the bottom end of the island of New Guinea. And they dumped us off onto New Guinea.
How many of you were there?
Huh?
How many of you were there?
I think there was my outfit was, I think, 2 regiments, and there was a couple other outfits. One National Guard outfit, I don't remember where it was from, but there was probably 1,500, I would say. At
Oh,
least.
okay. So this was a big boat.
Yeah,
Okay.
but in
So they dumped you off in New Guinea.
Lae, New Guinea, and we set up camp in a coconut grove. And for 2 cigarettes, the natives would go up and knock down every coconut in a tree for you if you give them 2 cigarettes. And cigarettes were around 6 cents a package, so we had no trouble.
So you developed a fondness for coconuts.
I ate coconuts until it was coming out my ears, and I don't think I've touched coconut since. A couple of times I've had like a candy bar with coconut in it, and it kind of brings back the coconut flavor, and I start to gag. And
So what did you do there in New Guinea?
well, we marched our way up the coastline of New Guinea, seeking Japs from the jungles of New Guinea, but we never caught any because they got so far back in the jungles that they couldn't get out.
So there were enemies in there.
Yeah,
Did they ever shoot at you and
Yeah.
stuff?
when we came, Australia was facing a
Invasion?
invasion of the Japs because they were beating them back, but very slowly. And then when we came,
And they were coming in by way of
Yeah.
New Guinea. So did they like shoot at you and stuff?
no, because they we never countered a Jap until we got almost to the top of New Guinea, and we pulled into a little area called Biak. It was a small island off the coast of New Guinea, and we're set there. We rounded up a few Japanese, very few, and then my outfit was ordered to go to an island 58 miles due west of Biak, which was another island, but the second island was quite a ways off from the beginning. We got there and we found out.
Oh, hold on. Okay. So you went to the second island, 58 miles west.
And we were told that we were to prepare for an invasion.
You were invading?
Yeah.
Where were you invading? This new island?
And this island
Okay.
called Noompor.
Okay.
And the big cruisers and
So you basically walked the length of New Guinea? You guys
Yeah.
marched it? How long did it take you to do that?
I don't know. It was probably,
Days, weeks?
I'd say a couple of weeks at least. But at any rate,
Okay, so you're preparing to invade this new island.
we invaded the island. The cruisers and that all shelled with the big guns. The Navy shelled the island good. And then the Seabees and us
What's
went
a
in.
CB?
The Navy building battalions. The Seabees laid down metal, strips of metal with holes in them. Laid down and made the airfield. And the next day,
So that planes could land?
huh?
So that planes could land? So that airplanes could land?
Yeah.
Wow.
The next day, the Royal Australian Air Force moved a batch of planes in. It was, they were called bullfighters. What was the other one? Beauforts and bullfighters. They were kind of an odd-looking airplane, but they had 2 seats. And these guys were going to Borneo, which was the other side of New Guinea. New Guinea is kind of a long island.
Yeah.
And then the next island over is Borneo. And the Japs had an airstrip, one that we knew of.
On Borneo?
We didn't know whether there was more there or not. But the Royal Australian Air Force was told to knock it out. So that's why we were sent to Numfor, was to protect the planes and,
While they
and the
prepared to
pilots
invade Borneo.
while they were on the island. And from there, we went on up to the Philippines once the Australian Air Force took care of the
Borneo.
island, and